of that, okay? I'm gonna put it here for you. Let's see, I need to keep this. Let's, can I delete this file? Did you guys do that? No? Okay, okay. Take a picture, do whatever you want. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Cancel notification. There. We did that.
You got it.
You have it in your notes? Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. He's got it.
Okay, so, right over here in this area, before calling mgr.notify, you could take care of creating some noise, okay, any kind of. N dot audio stream type equal audio manager dot stream notification. The very first thing that you need to do is set up this property n dot audio stream, okay, to audio manager dot stream notification. This is the first, and after that you're gonna have n dot sound equal, okay. You need to create a URI dot parse Android dot resource colon your package name. I thought in this example, my package name is com.cs311D. com.cs311D. This is the package name, followed by slash, followed by double quote, plus, I continue here, r dot raw dot fall back range. What does that mean? What is that?
So you have to create an audio file, fallback ring.
Exactly. Well, you could download. This is any ringtone or any kind of sound. Some Cyrus, for example, sound of siren, or the dog is barking. This kind of thing. Whatever you want. Okay? You could put it here, and that's it. By providing two items here, the audio synth type and the sound, okay, prior to call notify, you're going to do that, okay? It's very nice, isn't it? It's not the call you. Okay. Sometimes ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, one of my employee again, showed me an application that he made. Okay, he was sending a notification, and after that, a very nice sound of a cat, like that. Okay, and the counter was showing 1. And after that counter was showing 2 until the more the counter was showing number, the sound was getting harsher and harsher and really problematic. And finally got into very high pitched sound that really, get into your nerve, okay? It means, so he made it like that. This is pretty simple. The same thing as I did it for light, okay? So you could make it based on a count. Right over here is a counter. If count is this, then this, and a variety of different sounds are available, okay, that you could do. Anyway, you could do this kind of thing. So this part is showing you, or was showing you how to make noise, okay, or make any sound. Okay, now I showed you how to create, how to provide icon, right, and how to provide your text, okay, and how to provide when the notification created, right? So we put all of these as an argument of, I think it's still here, okay? When we made somewhere, oh, right over here, okay? When we made the notification. See that? If you do not want to do it like that, you could call a default constructor new notification parenthesis, and after that provide these items by assigning that. Let me show you how to do that, okay? Okay. Can I delete that button? N dot icon, equal r dot variable dot whatever the icon is. Over there you call it something, right? Whatever your icon is, XXX. I just put it XXX. Whatever you call it, okay? You could do that, okay? So you could directly do that. N dot, so before icon, go for N dot ticker text. Ticker text, I put it over there as status message, right? See that over there? So you could put it here. Ticker text. Okay, it's called ticker text, by the way. When, another one, N dot when equal system dot current time is, okay, and flag N dot flags equal notification dot flag auto cancel. Okay, so we discussed about these. Okay. Okay. One of the things that it's really problematic sometimes is set, actually that's set latest event info. Unfortunately, this is deprecated in the last two versions of Android SDK. It means Marshmallow and the Lollipop. Okay? So if you guys are using Marshmallow and Lollipop, if you use this, you get deprecation. Okay? Even in Marshmallow, it is not going to compile. In Lollipop, you get deprecation warning, but in Marshmallow, it's going to stop. Okay? So how to fix this problem? I'm talking about this line. Okay?
Use SDK 19 and R.
Okay. So let me show you how we take care of this. Okay? As you see, we have several important items here, right? This and that, right? So let me show you how, what we need to do in place of set latest event info. Okay? So we are not going to use this in our program. I just gave it to you for background, actually, if you are using the old versions, okay? So let's take care of it. Okay. Android is actually Google made a new class. It's called Builder. This is the inner class. Notification.builder class. Notification.builder class. Notification dot builder class. This is an inner class to notification, okay? And inside the builder class, there are lots of methods that we are using. Each method is in charge of taking care of one of those items, okay? Let me show you how to do that, okay? So the bottom line is, in our modern applications, we no longer use set latest event info. We get the application. So forget about that, and you need to use Builder. How to do that? Let me show you step by step, okay? First of all, let me introduce you what these methods are. These are all methods of a Builder class, okay? And after show you how to use them, okay? So let's talk about methods of the notification Builder class, okay? There is a method is called set small icon and integer icon. That you're gonna represent your icon, okay? Of course, you're gonna put the icon ID that is integer type, okay? So set small icon is one of them, one of the methods of the builder class, okay? The next one is set auto cancel. Set auto cancel. And this is Boolean. This is a way that we are setting flag. Do you remember auto cancel? So you're going to put true or false over there. And the next one is set ticker. Set ticker. And argument is string text message. Okay, takes care of a ticker. Okay. The next one is set when and long time. Okay, this takes care of when. The next one is content title. Set content title. String text. The next one is set content text. Set content text. String text. And finally, set content intent. Set content intent, and the argument is pending intent. Pending intent. PI. These are all of the methods available in a builder, okay? You don't have to use all of them, but you could use as many as you want, okay? It's a complete list of these functions or methods, okay? Now I'm going to give you an example about how to use them.
What's the difference between the ticker text, the title, and the text? There's the notification ticker text, there's the content title, and there's the content text.
Ticker text is very small, okay? You know, but the content text is
Okay.
much longer. Anyway, I'm going to give you an example right now to see how to do that, okay? Guys, I need to delete this part of the board. Can I? Everybody took notes? So, done. Okay, 1, 2. I'm just showing you how to take care of notification builder, okay? The rest of them is the same. So instead of having this, now we're gonna have notification builder and take our job easier. So, notification dot builder NB equal new notification builder notification dot builder parenthesis. It has only, actually, it has context. So, get base context parenthesis, and another parenthesis. I did not put semicolon at the end of it. Okay? Instead, I'm going to put dot here, set small icon r dot drawable dot whatever it is xxx. I didn't put semicolon either. I'm gonna put another dot here. Set auto cancel. Want to see true. Period. Set tickers. Whatever message for the ticker. Whatever. Followed by dot. Set when. System dot current time millis dot set content title, set content title, dot set content text, followed by dot set content intent. And if you remember, we made the intent PI, PI here. And finally, I put semicolon. Okay? See that? All together in one line. And now, after doing that, you're gonna have nm dot notify followed by notify ID, notify the ID, we made it already, and end here, and the job is done. Let's talk about all of these one by one, okay? Because I know some of you guys possibly do not know the difference between these items, okay? So let's start from the very first one. This method is in charge of taking care of your icon, right? What icon you want to display, right? This is gonna be in charge of what? If you want your notification being cancelled after being displayed, or you want to keep it forever. Set ticker is a very tiny message. You have notification, something like that. Okay. When it shows when the notification is created. Set content title. What does that mean? Content title
The title of the notification.
is what?
The title of the notification.
Well, there are three content here: content title, content text, content intent. Right? Whenever we are talking about content in this in this section, in this box, in this context, we mean the program or the class that will be invoked when you join it, okay? For example, let's go back to the example of melting cell phone, okay? the message was, the message here was small icon, whatever icon, auto cancel, and ticker. Ticker was urgent. Follow me? This was ticker. Urgent. Okay? After that, when, now we get into here, okay? This is what? This is telling you that how to, this is the title of the program that if you tap on that, it's gonna take care of a job. It's gonna kill some of the hardware and software stuff, okay? So, what do you want? For example, what the good name is for that?
Overheat.
Sensor killer,
Okay.
right? Or something like that, right? Because if you, from these three are about that's killing the sensor, right? Sensor killer. Text. Give more information, okay?
Cool.
This sensor, and that sensor will be disabled, right? And finally, the intent for that, because in order to do that, you have to create the intent for handling that. Okay. So these three are about the program that will be activated if you want, right? Okay. Not all of the notifications have that facility. Okay. I'm saying you, your mom called you. That's it. Right? So in this case, there would be no other intent that you want to activate or something. So, okay, that's it, right? Following? So in this case, there is none of these, and there will be no PI. No problem. Okay? Creating PI is not necessary if you do not want. It's not necessary that you don't think that whenever you are making any notification, you need to create PI. You don't have to. Okay. Following? This is extra to your notification. So now you know what the differences are. Mr. Raffaelli, did I explain it in a way that you understand? Because I remember you asked a question about what the differences are.
Yes,
Is it
but this notification builder, does the notification builder return a notification builder, or does it return a notification? Because I'm seeing N.
Are you talking about these dot here?
No, I'm talking about the
Last
first
line.
line.
Oh, the first line.
It
The
says-
first one?
Yeah, no, up one
Right
more
over
line.
here?
Yeah.
It's all one line.
Where do we get the N, the notification that we're using in the notify column?
Well, N is the object of the notification that we had. You remember somewhere in our program said notification, I think I have it here. Notification N equals such and such. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
it's just.
So in this case, we do not need to worry about these anymore because I could say,
I think
in
it's
this
top.
case, I would just call the default. Okay, like that.
So the
Right,
parentheses.
the reason I ask is that we create NB in the code, but we don't seem to do anything with it.
I think because you
Well,
put
we say
N on the last
notification
line.
Builder NB, but at the bottom we say.
Well, actually, this NB that we have created, okay, is used for some other purposes, okay? There are some methods that are using NB, but here we are using N. This guy, because if you remember notify, I think I call it, notify is using the object of notification, not object of notification builder.
I'm afraid I don't understand what the call to new notification builder does. I don't see how.
Well, in this
I don't see how
example,
it ties into the
well,
notification.
in this
and-
example that I gave, we do not
notification
need this at all, okay?
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay, so if you do not want it, simply you could do it like that. I can eliminate this completely, right?
Okay.
And still this works, right? Simply use new such and such, all you need, okay? You don't need NB, right? Just call new notification builder and continue. It's still working. Because I am not using NB anymore.
Okay.
But NB, which is is the object of the builder, in some occasions, as you're gonna find out, is needed, okay? If you need that, it's ready. But if you do not need, don't use it. Still is working, right?
It stores everything.
Still is working. It reminds me of it reminds me of 111B. When I was teaching 111B, okay, I saw some of my students always is doing something like that. Always. In a main, in public, static void main,
And then it's a string args.
string
Doesn't make any sense.
args. I saw always my students are doing that. Let's say do it di equals new do it and closing this. Okay? It's in 111. And I told them that what is the purpose of this line? They told me we are trying to invoke this class. I said, if you want to invoke this class, how come you are using do it di? What is the purpose of di here? You are not using di. You just create it and that's it, closing main. What's the purpose of it? So, such and such instructor told us always doing that. So I said, this is not right. You are doing this if later on here in this program you need this object. If you do not create anonymous object, this is called anonymous object. Okay? This is called anonymous object. I
You need the word
create
new.
the object, but it has no name in it. It's anonymous, right? The same here. If you need the NB object, do it this way. If you do not need the NB object, but you just want to set up those properties, simply put new followed by this. Try it, and it's going to work 100%. Okay? Okay? A little bit later, you're going to find out that the notification builder has some other thing that you could do. Okay? Any comment or question? Yeah.
Okay, so if you have, so let's say I want to make 2 notifications.
You want to make 2 notifications
Yeah,
in one program?
yeah. So I make like
Notification
N1
N1 and N2.
and N2. So
And
and then
set
I
up-
call.
And set up 2 of these, okay?
Alright, so I just set one, and it was set for both of them.
Well,
For set
you need to see that is N, right? So you're going to use N1 for one of them and the other one N2.
Mm-hmm. And then the set builder, I just need to do it one time.
Exactly.
Okay. That's okay.
Sorry, I lowered down the level of this course and went back to 111B. Okay, so I'm going to delete it right now because somebody
Yeah, you
comments that I
don't wanna
was
see
teaching
that.
111B in advanced answer. It's really embarrassing for you. This part is gone, guys. Okay? I hope nobody's not.
I don't even know if you need the word new.
Because I really
I have
feel
to
bad
try
when I
the word new.
see some,
You don't need the
this
word
kind of
new.
things in schools.
You don't need the word new either.
So how many flags can I use for each notification?
How many flags?
Yeah,
You mean this?
There.
You mean this flag?
another one. Like
you
auto cancel, like
you
can
mean
I use,
these flags?
yeah,
Well,
is one for each or?
first of all, it's totally up to you. But if you want to follow the way that many people do, I can show you. Each notification needs icon. Okay. Okay. This is, you need to take care of cancel or not cancel. Okay. Uh, If you don't put ticker, nobody knows what the notification is all about. Normal notification comes with exact time for that, okay? Following? And that's about it. The first four are required, okay? The last three are not. Because the last three, depending on if you want somebody do something like that, and another activity being fired up, right? Okay, in our case, killing those sensors. If you do not want this happen, these three are totally optional, okay? So I could say
Pending intent.
required, I could say optional.
The intent is optional? Okay, you don't have to have it at all.
But-
Okay.
But let's see if I want to use the flag insistent in this case.
You mean
How do I do that?
Which one?
Like the flags
Oh,
insistent.
flag insistent is
Cancel
look at
false.
that.
right. Auto
Flag insistent is equivalent to
Cancel
put
false.
off here.
Oh,
It means false,
oh, I see.
okay? Because we have flag insistent and we have cancel, right?
Oh, I see.
So name of the method says what? Auto cancel. If you do not want auto cancel to take place and you want be insistent, so put what?
False.
Off, it means
False.
false. Okay?
Got it.
You got?
Question, we don't have to set up anything for user permissions for this? They're not
Well,
mandatory?
I haven't finished that. Yes, you need to add the one line to your
Manifest.
manifest file. Okay, I'm going to discuss the part. The subject of this the notification is not over yet. I'm just trying to answer your question.
One question about that. Why, we used this when we were using set latest event info, but now you're using get base context. Is there a reason for that?
Get base context, okay,
Right.
is equivalent to use this.
Ah, okay.
Okay,
It is.
but there is one difference, okay? If, what's the difference?
If you're not in the same activity as the context that
No,
you're trying to notify them about. No, okay.
no. Having this, okay, is not really a good idea because it might create memory. I think in 211D, I discussed about that. But the danger of using this as a context and the result would be memory leak, okay?
Okay, so this can lead to a retain cycle.
Exactly,
but,
exactly.
But get base context will not, or,
If you put this, okay, possibly not depending on the condition, you're gonna make memory leak. If you put get base context, you never get that, okay? So if you ask what the difference is it's just this. My suggestion to my employees, not you guys are not my employees, you guys are there, is always use get base context, okay? For or get application context or get view context, depending on where we are, okay? Get base context here and eliminate memory.
So it should have been get base context over here too.
Yes, exactly. So wherever you see this here, if you want to be in a safe side, use get base context. And if somebody asks you, why is that opposite? And give my phone number. Okay. And the same here, okay?
No, I understand.
Okay. And if some of you guys do not know what memory leak is or why this is causing that, maybe you could send me email or something. I'll privately explain to you why this is happening. Okay, that why you put this cause memory leak, and if you put get base context, it's gonna be leak. Okay. Yes.
Can you create object of context and put equal get base context and use object?
Definitely, you could do that too. Create the object of a base context somewhere in the same, and put B and B sub. Okay.
Oh,
You don't have to call it.
but then have to be the object of base context or object of context?
Just use get base context.
No, I mean the object you're gonna create is for the context.
Well, you know that these are this should be context.
Okay, yeah. So make sure.
Context C equal
Then get base context.
get
There you go.
base context. Don't forget that context is the interface.
Mhm.
Okay? And this interface is implemented based on different environment. For view environment is implemented differently than in activity environment. Following me? This is a context. This is the interface, okay? If you go to internet, you just go for look for how many methods are there and names of the method. You're gonna find out a lot of them, and see how they are implemented. For example, in activity, activity is implementing that. Okay, view is implementing that too. Okay, and there are some others in the classes that are implementing this one too. Continue, guys. Okay, before we fall asleep. Okay, let's see. Okay, discuss about that. Okay, I want to give you another example, and that's it for tonight. Let me give you another example about how to make a notification, okay? Okay, I'm looking for... Okay, not that. Okay, let's talk about this. I need to write a program. Can I do it? When we get into subject of sensors, I'm gonna come back to this subject again, to notification, okay? And also when I talk about broadcast services, okay, I'm gonna come back to this subject too, okay? So if you see I'm a little bit superficially go over this, is because some stuff need to be discussed later on those chapters. So I'm gonna come back to subject of notification, okay? Okay. So this is the example of Android notification with sound and icon. Okay. Public. Class. Notification activity. Activity, extend activity. So whenever you run this, it's going to create a notification, right? Very nice one. Okay. And override public void on create under B super dot B today one of my people at work resigned, came to me and said, I want to leave. Of course, already gave us some kind of notification, but today became serious. Then said, I'm about leaving, and when we asked, what should we do to keep you here? He said, give me $30,000. Okay? And later on, we found out that that guy was hired by Google. Okay? It means I have a friend who is working in HR of Google. And when we contacted them, I said, do you know such a person? I said, oh yes, this guy recently was hired in our company, and this, and we found out that the guy was hired over there. So 30,000 is a lot of money. We could not afford keeping the guy left, okay? I don't make 30,000 a year myself here. Imagine that how much I have to pay for extra on top of whatever the guy is making to keep him, okay?
Congratulations.
See the salary level here, okay? So, let's secure this guy. View dot on click listener view on click listener, we call it handler equal new view dot on click listener. I think you don't like it. Last night we were discussing about it, right?
I have 3 different ways now.
Yeah, do you remember you were against using anonymous in a class, right?
Only way it shows me a red
And I
line.
remember you were wearing a hat last night, am I right? Sitting in the back.
I implemented at the top and I put in the required method and it said that I didn't put it in there. I was like, of course I did.
So I hope you don't get mad at me that I'm using again anonymous in a class. Guys, do you think what I'm doing now about doing that? What am I about doing this? What am I doing?
You're gonna attach a button to the.
Yes, this is attaching button, and when you click on the button,
It's
a
gonna
notification
do that.
will be created and stuff like that. Make it a bit fancy. Public void on click VUV switch v dot get ID case r dot ID dot btn1 show notification break and case r dot id dot btn2 cancel notification. Cancel notification. And break. The second break, by the way, is not necessary. I put it as a force of habit, but there is no need. If somebody looks at the code and says your teacher doesn't have any knowledge about Java because this is not necessary, you know, I know that, but I just put it as a force.
Because you don't care about Java.
Okay. This is done. and that is done, and this is done. Perfectly all right, okay? By now, by one glance, you guys could guess what I'm about doing that, right? We have an application with 2 buttons. The idea of the buttons in our layout is BTN1, BTN2, or button 1, button 2, right? Okay. So when you click on the first button, what happens?
Show
It
notification.
shows notification. When you click on the second one, it's going to cancel notification, right? Clear? So it's self-explanatory.
Come and go.
Okay. The reason that I'm going a little bit slowly tonight and giving you example and telling you line by line what I'm doing is, one student sent me an email and said, the level of this course is a bit high for me. And would you please explain more about those lines that we are putting on a board, this kind of message. I will do it. Okay.
I was hoping
And with this advanced Android, right? What can I do? Yes.
It's a question. You jumped up the set content view for a purpose or just forgot after super on create?
After
Then
you mean,
after the first line, super on create.
you mean here?
Yeah. You're supposed to use set content view, this
Well,
kind of
I
thing.
have not finished that yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't finished on create.
Okay, so make sure.
I just took care of the 2 buttons, but maybe I need to do some
Okay.
other stuff here,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
So what I did now, I create the object of this handler, okay? I got the handler, right? Is on click listener, and I did like that, right? Okay?
Okay.
Again, you go back to the question that Mr. Raffaelli actually asked. In this example, I need this object. You're going to find out. If I did not need this object, I would simply eliminate the left part, right? I would simply say what? New view and this kind of thing, right? Okay. Now that I did this, we close this guy. Find video by ID parenthesis R dot I dot BTN1 dot set on click listener and harder. See what I did? Instead of making anonymous inner class, I didn't make it anonymous. Okay, and I put it there. So normally, what we were doing, just putting set on click listener parenthesis and do all of those things. So I did it this way. Maybe this is better for some of you guys that hate anonymous in a class. Okay. One student some time ago said, I was to always use anonymous in a class. Don't you have a better idea? I said, well, I didn't make it. This is, I know this looks ugly. It really looks ugly. But, so let's continue that. Normally we are doing find view by ID and assign it to something, right? I didn't assign it to anything. Let's directly call that. This makes my code a little bit more concise. Okay? Find view by ID r.i.btn1. Would you tell me what this part does for us? What does it part do?
It returns a view.
Shows where the button is.
Creates a button. Creates a button, right? it creates the object of a button, right? But this object is anonymous. I'm creating the anonymous object of a button. Normally you do it like that. Button B equal what?
Cast the button.
Find
Cast button.
what?
You don't cast.
Here's button.
Yes, we just will cast it exactly. Button dot
Find view by ID.
find
Button by tag.
view
View by tag.
ID.
by ID and stuff like that, right?
So we-
To create the object, right? And after that, using this, you're gonna go and say b dot set content, set on click listener such and such, right? So I don't need this object here. That's what I didn't. I made it anonymous object, right?
So we don't have to cast on the top two, or does
Well,
it need it?
When you are doing this, amazingly, the Android is take care of it. Okay, so this is another way that there is no casting involved. Try it. If it didn't work, say Abbas doesn't know anything about Android. Okay, okay, try it. Okay, it's very nice. So there is no need for casting. Okay, it's anonymous. Okay, so now we did this. I think there is no need for this guy. Let's close it down.
You have to set the content view.
Finally, I close it. Okay.
You
Set. Oh, we have
Yep.
Context.
That's what I asked you. Set content view. It was there, right? Yep. Okay.
right here.
Yep. Remember I asked you?
Set content. Or can put it over there. Doesn't even matter. But traditionally, everybody puts set content view right under the super content view. R dot layout. I make up main dot main. Okay. There. Otherwise, nothing comes up. Nothing. Black, okay.
And what about the last line there? You're supposed to use set on click listener to for the button too?
Yeah, but it's
Just watch it.
Just put a quotation
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
That's supposed to be
Just put a ditto mark.
you mean?
What?
the last line.
When you say find view by ID, r.id dot btn2, the last line of the on create.
That should be
No, next line.
handler.
It should,
But
it
here?
should also
Yeah.
say
Yeah, so that's
dot
B to
sound
BNT
equal to-
two.
Supposed to set something there, or
Oh, you mean someone calling here? Like that?
No,
No,
you're gonna set the button two. You set the ID on the first one for button one.
because
Are you gonna
you
set
create
the
the
listener for
object
the
there,
two?
but for what you use that?
Let me, haven't finished.
Oh.
These are
Was you
very
close
sim-
with it?
These are very simple stuff, guys, you know. Let me.
Go ahead.
Very simple. Okay, let's make the show notification, okay?
Why would you have that there by itself on a line?
You're gonna find out.
Okay, I'll wait, I'll wait.
Let me finish this. I'm not gonna go anywhere
All right.
until
You won't leave us
you are
hanging.
satisfied, okay? Delete that. Public, void, show notification. What does show notification do? Whenever it's called, it's gonna show the notification. So I'm gonna use URI, lowercase URI, equal ring tone manager. I think it's the first time in this class that I'm using ringtone manager. Have I used before?
No,
No.
not this year.
This is one of my favorite subject in Android. We're working with ringtone. Okay, ringtone manager. Let's create the object of URI. Get default. Get default URI, parenthesis, ringtone manager, ringtone manager dot type. There are variety of ringtones available. Group of ringtones are made for notification only. So we need to pick those kind of ringtones that are made for notification, okay? Because ringtones are for different purposes. Somebody's calling you, you're gonna have a ringtone, right? But that's different. So this dot is gonna take care of it. Type underscore notification. Notification, okay. Okay, URI is made. Now we're gonna have intent I equal new intent. I put this, but the better way is use get base context, comma, notification receiver dot class. Notification receiver dot class. And now we're gonna have pending intent. Pending intent PI equals pending intent dot get activity parenthesis. Again, I use this, but you could change it to something else. 0, I, and 0. We discussed about what they are. Okay, PI is created, and now we're gonna have notification N equal new notification context. Actually, no, we don't need that. Notification. Gotta do this one. Notification. Dot builder. BUIL builder. This okay. Dot again, bunch of dot. Okay. Now set content title. Set content title.
Just those ones, no?
Title. I would say new post.
Just those ones, no? It's already there. It's already there. Just use those ones, no?
Is it same as that?
Yeah. Look.
Well, as you see, there is little bit differences over there. Okay.
Oh.
Some of
Just modify. You save some time. Just modify the things inside, no? To save some time. You don't have to write everything again.
Get rid of 7 of them.
what you see, you should not put your state to refer to that. That's what
Yeah, like you just modify there, save some time, start write it out everything
Alright,
again.
okay. Sure. This is N over there.
It's N over here.
If you just delete the top part
N,
there,
and I put it down here. Okay, dot. Okay.
yeah, just delete the
I put
top
it
part,
here,
yeah.
okay.
It's wipe out the first 4 lines.
Okay, so I'm going to
Yeah, delete those 4 lines and that's it. Yeah.
delete these guys because I don't want you guys confused.
Yeah. Then save some time.
That's not gonna help, though.
Okay.
We started, we started.
Let's talk about set content title right over here. Okay. Set content title. I have new post. Okay.
New post.
New post. Okay, this part is taken. A context, text, a content text here. I have an awesome update for you.
Awesome, awesome. How?
An awesome,
Maybe it's spelling.
awesome
Awesome.
update for you.
Good at reading.
Update for you. Okay. Set icon. This icon.
First one.
Icon is on top. Is r dot drawable dot whatever it is. Okay, your icon. Okay. Set content intent, we have set content intent, we have PI. We already made PI, right? Over there, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay.
That's 4.
Set sound, do we have set sound here?
No.
I didn't put it because here.
It's over
so-
here. It's over on the right side of
Uh,
this.
dot, so you're gonna have all of them are dot, 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 okay? Dot, set, sound. We already made URI for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I called it URI, right? Okay. This is for the sound, and
That was fancy.
uh,
So you got auto cancel and time left.
okay,
Auto cancel and time.
and pardon?
And set auto cancel is false, right?
Uh,
Because we
So,
wanted to say at the
yes, we
beginning of
already
everyone.
took care of it, so we could put false here, right?
It's false.
And there are
Just time.
Time,
Set when.
ticker.
How long?
Ticker.
and I think that's about it, right?
What about
When?
ticker and when?
And do we have when here?
Yeah, when and ticker there.
This is right here,
Yeah.
so we take care of
One time.
It's gonna be system.
the system dot.
Anytime you
Oh, and that's so that it happens now?
You could pay now.
I'm saying, that's, when you're using the system, what you're about to write,
Current minute.
it's taking the current time
Yes.
so that the notification happens immediately when this runs. If that were set at some future time, it wouldn't.
Normally, when refers to when notification is created.
Okay,
Okay.
right there.
Okay, so system.millis or whatever, you guys know that, okay, just to save time, okay? So, pretty much done, right? Okay? Okay. Now, we need to take care of, we are running out of time, guys. Okay, I'm gonna put a message here that about that we are here, I'm gonna finish this next time for you. This is a very good program, okay? Now I need to go and create a notification manager and see how to take care of this. This is really, it's getting very good program. So I'm gonna finish this guy for you next time. And after that, next time when we get together, we are talking about another subject. I think this is gonna be broadcast receiver. This is the subject that I wanna talk about next time, okay? Some of you guys, content is sending me email and saying that, Abbas, we need quiz, and in such and such class, our teacher is giving us a couple of quizzes. We haven't, why are you scared? We
But then-
let you look at scared.
No, I like quizzes, thank
So,
you.
guys, we are going to have a quiz, but don't worry about that. The midterm exam is coming first, okay? You guys know when the midterm exam is. If you have forgotten that, look at your syllabus I gave you in the first day, okay? Which is mid-March, okay? So I'm gonna give you the midterm exam, and after the midterm exam, I'm gonna give you a couple of quizzes, one after each other, okay? So I have not forgotten about the quiz, okay? I wanted to give you the homework assignment tonight, but as you see, time finished and I could not give you the homework assignment. So no homework assignment.